Let's make sure we have a little bit of everything. I think my next studio setup, I'm going to keep it so the table is not all the way against the wall so that I can put the camera on the other side and have it facing, but we shall see. We shall see. My biggest thought is the sewing versus everything else. La la la. And of course, I've got ads already. Excuse me. Good afternoon, Jackie. How are you today? Let me. Whoa, that was really shaky. My apologies. So I always like to warn people, close your eyes. It's going to get a little shaky. Going to change a few things up. Make sure everything is going well. Okay. Excuse me again. Oh, come on. Behave yourself. Ta-da. Okay. I started working on a pouch just to try it out. I have the one we're going to sew today over there. I actually have two of them over there. So I'm just quilting this one up because I wanted to see what it looks like. And I can tell that I'm still kind of feeling a bit off, enjoying the slightly cooler weather. I think it's so funny. I've noticed here in Arizona, at least in this area, it's so funny when people are like, oh, so much cooler today. What's the temperature? 94. Well, it's not triple digits, so it is cooler, right? And honestly, I can see the difference. I really can. So here's the dilemma I'm at. Hello, Beverly. We haven't seen you in a while. Welcome, welcome back. I have I have thoughts and I'm just testing things out and I've got to try different things. So, first of all, I don't like the quilting going through the letters here, but when I do the patchwork, if I quilt these two columns, then I have to quilt through there. So I think I need to sneak around and do a secret thing. Yes, I saw that, Jackie. It's going to be nice because the weather's been so crazy lately. I think I'm just going to go down to the seam. I chose the wrong color thread. I didn't want white, and I wasn't sure. The one I wanted was the cantaloupe, but it doesn't have a bobbin, and I didn't want to take the time to bobbinate something, and I really should have because this light blue is not that great. Just let me know if you guys can't hear me that well. I have the cordless mic on again. And I'm just trying different positions on my t-shirt on where to place the microphone so that sometimes when I'm doing editing the videos, I can hear it kind of metallic-y, vibraty, echoey type things. And then other times it's not like loud enough. So when I'm going from one episode, when I stop the camera, clean the table, trim, cut, quilt, whatever, turn the microphone back on, the camera back on, the volume is different and I didn't do anything different. So I just need to make sure I need to find my sweet spot, like with everything. Oh, yeah, the garage is too hot now. That's why I brought all of my storage bins inside because it's too hot to work in the garage. It's hard enough to like work in the yard or anything. Well, no snow is always a good thing, right, Beverly? No snow is always a good thing. So I wanted to try a colorful one, and I did the word create because, it has the different colors and stuff. But on the other ones, I'm doing more like a low volume and stuff. Hi, Giovanna. Hey, Sue. Welcome, welcome. So, welcome to all of our replay viewers. I love when you guys come and catch up with us on the rest of the weekend or in the week. Welcome to all of our lurkers that like to just sit behind and get stuff done while I'm chatting. And welcome to all of our chatters. Ink swatch cards, like note cards, gift cards, greeting cards. That sounds like fun. You're very welcome, Giovanna. Giovanna was our guinea pig, and we can send a small mug rug overseas for the cost of an international stamp. It's somewhere between the size of a coaster and a mug rug. So that way I can put these things in the shop, and the people in other countries that want to have a little bit of our goodness can have it without having to spend $18 to ship a coaster, which is crazy in my mind. Oh, and a big welcome and happy to anyone that sneaks in that I don't see you and other chatters don't see you, because sometimes people chat, sometimes people work, and unfortunately, sometimes we don't see you when you come in and say hi, especially if it's during a chatty session or I have my head down and I'm working. So today I'm making zipper pouches using the Ruby Star Magic Self. Sorry, the voice. I am in the middle of an asthma allergy type episode. So I apologize when the asthma's bothering me. I get very raspy sounding and I might just cut off in the middle of a sentence. But I'm medicated, so we'll see how it goes. I have it. Oh, my goodness. I have it set up for the ads to be every 30 minutes, and we all get an ad at the same time, and that's very frustrating. Yeah, I was hoping, Giovanna, there wouldn't be any extra cost because it's being mailed as if it was a greeting card, a birthday card or something. So that's why I was hoping there wouldn't be any extra. Swatch cards that I can see. Oh, gotcha. So I tried to put the camera and put everything so we don't bounce around. We'll see. I never had this problem. My house was falling apart, rickety old, not made to last house, and I had no problems. In these rentals through this agency, the way they put the floors just right on top of whatever, they're not like secured down in any way. So they're very bouncy. So every time I move, it makes the camera move. I always apologize. So anyone that's new that doesn't know what's going on, I want you guys to know what's going on. This be what's happening. But I thought I'd make a test pouch to start with just so that we can see what it kind of looks like. I'm not going to finish this one because, I want to make sure we have time to actually sew at least the outsides of the pouches, whether we quilt them or anything like that. So we won't worry about that. I chose, okay, so we have create. This is kind of scary because you have to make sure you like spell the words right. So this is the front for create. Put the babies to bed. It's nice to just sit and knit and listen to people ramble and watch a video. So create on the front and then the colorful batiks on the back. I did not, in the rush to get things done, I skipped all of the steps that I know that are important, but I skipped them. Like I did not, I usually put a quilt clip on my seams. Nothing that's a big deal, right? So that doesn't match up and that doesn't match up. And when they don't match up in the seams perfectly, and I'm quilting a quarter of an inch from the seams, it makes my quilting wobble a little. And since it's that light blue thread, you can see it. Now, it's not enough for me to say I can't sell this, so I will put it in the shop because there's pictures on Etsy. You can see, you can make the picture a little larger, you can zoom in, you can make sure whatever bothers you is not present. I'm just kind of making things up as I go. So I didn't make any of these pieces where the word create is. They were all too short by an inch and a half. So I had to put like extenders on everybody. And then this is a kind of like it's a moda. I don't know if it's grunge, but it's like ice dyed. It was in my batiks, but it's not a batik because the back is it's printed on just one side, but I thought it would work okay. It's a little moody for the inside of the bright pouch, but yeah, I think it'll be fine. And then this is 10.5 by 6.5. So I just want to grab a zipper for that. I'm using fusible fleece because I like how it structures for a zipper pouch. I don't know if I need a white zipper or a colored zipper. I put the table up on the sewing machine so that we can see, like the things that are going on. I can see what's. I really despise those ads underneath everything. That drives me bonkers because I like to see how many people are in here, but I can't. And they don't have a spot to exit out. That's annoying. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if I want to have a colorful one or just a white one. I really like these letters in the low volume more to the neutral. I'm using 2.5-inch squares for most things because I wanted something that can work with a basic size, like a pre-cut. I wanted something that would be easy, right? 2.5 is a common number. It's charm pack friendly. It's mini charms. It's easy to just cut that size. These are my 14-inch zippers. I bought a bunch of colorful. When I buy the fusible fleece, I was just buying it online at Joann's. I've bought it online at Michael's. I buy it online at Hobby Lobby, and I buy it online at Amazon. And oh, this last one, check Walmart.com. That's where I like to buy it the most because the price is the best. It's still the Pellon fusible. I don't want to say the wrong number, but it's something like 987 or 985 or something. It didn't come with that paper anymore. So yeah, look at walmart.com for the Pellon fusible fleece. And that's the one that I've been very pleased with because it's the same one as we use for everything, but I just like the price. I'm trying to just kind of match a little bit with that to use up some of these colors. And since this is so colorful, I kind of want it to be a little quirky like. Oh, hi Yvette Marie. I think yellow is too much. Maybe a green. I don't think I'm thinking blue needs to be. And this is how I choose my zipper colors. Really, I just kind of lay it down. I do almost like that green a little better. And I say, oh, what makes me happy today? The orange is pretty good too. Well, I'm glad you were able to make it back to hang out with us. I think I'm gonna go with the orange. Why not? Yeah, see, orange. I think I'm gonna go with the orange. Yeah, I was blue, 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 but then oh, 987, is that what it is? Whatever the standard one is, I know it's 980 something or another. Yeah, look at walmart.com. If you can't find it for some reason, it should pop right up. But send me an email and I'll give you a link off of, you know, I'll go in my what did you just buy recently list and find it for you. So we're still early on. I think we should be pretty good. I think people are going to be in here. So I don't think yeah, we've got enough people in here. So I'm not going to sew this, but I just want to put the clips in to get it started so that everybody stays together. And then we'll work on, I have this line. I'll have to look and see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, this line right here, it's got strawberries and kitty cats and foxes and stuff like that. It's from 2015, so good luck. It's the Les Lycian Mini Origami Pack, Mini and Moo, fall of 2015. And it just says made in Japan. So I don't know. This is the name. This is like Robert Kaufman, but that's the designer name right there, the company. And then that's the words. And then this one over here that's got the pail and it says smile. I don't know what's underneath here. What did I pick? I think it's, oh yeah, that one's dream. And for smile, it's Amberly by Moda, and it does not have a year. It looks like it says Quilt and Cafe Company, a Brenda Riddle Designs. So there you go. That's what I'm using for this one. It's got a lot of the light colors with a couple pops. And since these have been opened and I pulled some out, they go into their little container. A huge thank you to my crafty godmother because she sent me one of these with a bunch of scraps in it once. And I found that I use these a whole lot because they stack really well. They have the locking lid, you can see through it, and it's great for little bits. And then, of course, I like all the bigger sizes too, but these little ones are really good, especially for 2.5-inch squares. All right, let me clip these. And I think we'll make the smile one first. I'm using the cardboard pieces from the back of the layer cakes as my design boards. I found that I don't like design boards. They're too thick. So I think I'm just going to start saving pieces of cardboard that are thin. I don't like to have a lot of cardboard in the studio because of bugs. When, like in Florida, you get a lot of bugs, and we have them here too. And this one, I'm just using a 9.5-inch ruler as my design board. Normally, if I'm just by myself, I just stack everything up on the table here, but I need to maximize my space and move things around. I've been finding a lot of things on Walmart. I tried to only buy from Walmart on Walmart.com. I try to be careful and not buy from like RsIslandCrafts on Walmart.com because you can't really like return anything. So I try to get things that Walmart ships. And same thing on Amazon. If I can avoid it or help it, I try to get things from Amazon. Even if RS Island Crafts sells it, but Amazon delivers it and it's in their warehouse, then like drop shipping, then I'm fine with it. So I know that there's a good chance it's actually going to show up to the house because when I buy things from companies and they're not part of Walmart or whatever. You can't return them and you can't, exchange them or guarantee that it's going to actually arrive. I was really excited. I ordered this, like it's like a ladder system. It has like the top of a teepee tent, like triangle tent, and you put your planters in it. And everything was on sale because it's technically springtime in a lot of places, even though it's kind of weird here in Florida and California, whatever. But it had the little tiers, and it was like delayed and delayed and delayed. And I just canceled the order, and I'm going to do the homemade version that I saw on Instagram instead because it was a really good price, but I can't sit here and constantly wait. And Amazon kind of, it felt threatening. Like, if you don't do something about this and make a decision, we're going to cancel your order and you're not going to have to pay for it and all that. But I mean, it's nice. Like, hey, we're not going to make you sit and wait. But it really felt weird because normally they say it's been delayed. If you don't get it by, May 21st, you can go ahead and cancel the order or something. But this one's like, you need to make a decision. You need to click this button right now. And I'm like, listen, I'm not doing all that pressure. I'll just get something else. That's a good idea too, like reuse things. I do find that I need clear stuff. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Gwen. Oh, my nose. I got itchy nose today. There's so much fiber stuff in here floating around. Normally, I wouldn't buy a bunch of things because, you have to think about money you're spending versus money coming in and stuff. But those bins at Target tend to be pretty inexpensive for what they are. They're a good quality and it'll last a long time. And I'm not really much for matching colors and all that, but it really does irk me when they keep changing the colors of the handles. Excuse me while I move you over there. And I would like to have all one color. It just makes it easier. Plus, it makes it easier to reorder because I can just click reorder, right? I don't have to now go look up the sizes and make sure I get the same exact one and all of that stuff. So we're going to do the easy part first. I don't know if you guys can see that one says smile. I think I might need to change out this corner up here though. That one's a little bold and it doesn't quite, sorry, whiskers. Shh. I think, so these are browns and pinks and some grays and stuff with that tealish color. And then this one's just a piece of paper. It's not actually cardboard, but that one's a little bright. I tried to put my ugly fabrics because I'm going to cut the corners out of the bottom. So I want to make sure that those are nice. I mean, I don't want to put my most favorite ones down there. Oh, Giovanna, 100%. I'm like someone else. Oh, thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. Someone else, um, they're looking like, what's the food in there? And I go to my kids, I'm like, I really want this container. Will you eat what's in it? Or, hey, I bought you this for Christmas, but I want I want the container because I know they're not gonna want the container. Do I want just a pale white one up there? Or how about a light pink polka dot? How does that feel? That feels a little better. Yeah, so it's like I want this container. It comes with food. I bought after Christmas last year. Well, I bought 2 containers for Christmas, but all these had, I don't know, I think I might have shown you possibly. They had these glass jars, right? This one doesn't have a strong lid on it, but the rest of them are really good. And I don't remember what it was, like $8 or something. So you get the glass container and a whole thing full of candy. This one, it was apple and cherry, but I separated them out green and red in 2 different containers so I don't have to dig through it. And I thought afterwards it'd be great to store buttons or pasta or rice on the counter. Maybe the one that doesn't lock very well, that can have buttons, and then the other ones can have a food item in there. So my daughter's like, "You basically got mason jars for $4." I think I ended up paying like maybe a buck something after whatever 75% off of. I think it was like $8 or $12, but I went and bought like 6 of them, all that they had. There's one that has like mixed berries in it and blueberry and raspberry and stuff. And I got one before Christmas and then I couldn't find any after Christmas. So I do have a lot of hard candy. I won't have to buy hard candy for a long time. I usually have one piece a day after lunch. But yeah, the containers, you're not going to get a mason jar or glass jar at that price, right? Hi, Valerie. I'm glad you made it. We haven't actually started yet. One of the bonus things of starting before 1 o'clock is I get everything set up. And then I usually wait till about 10 after, quarter after. And then we're actually doing our sewing and we just chat a little and people show up. Put that up there. We're making a zipper pouch like that. This one's going to have the word smile. So, like I said, I was doing the 2.5 inches. Some of them you have to, the smile is it's 1.5 inches tall, I believe. And it just 2.5 just works really well, right? So we'll put these like this. That one is bigger. So that one is, I've been doing the 10.5 by 6.5 or 10.5 by 8.5. 8.5 by 6.5. So I've been using round numbers for my bags. So I just kind of figured that. And the hardest part is the section where the words are. Just decide how wide your pouch is going to be with the top 2 rows and then the center one. It depends on um, how many letters are in your word and stuff, right? So it's going to change. So whatever that is, create has 5 letters. This one, oh, this one has 5 too. 3. Oh, Create has 6. Sorry, I'm good. So some of them have 6, some of them have 8. Maybe if you're making one for Sue, it's only 3 letters. So you have to kind of beef it up a little. You sleep mornings and early afternoons? Well, welcome up. Well, welcome up. Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. All right. I don't know if I'm actually at a quarter of an inch. There we go. Trying to get things set up. It was trying to like figure out the numbers ahead of time and decide on how things are going to kind of be size and numbers and stuff. Normally, I would just throw a bunch of fabric on the table and wing it as I go so that I can just add a piece in. It's a little bit harder with you guys for me to talk, to think, to keep track of everything. And to kind of make things up as I go. It's not bad when we're doing the quilt as you go zipper pouches because you just cut a piece of batting and you add whatever size pieces any which way. But doing it this way with specific sizes and trying to get everybody to match up, it just takes a little bit more thought than doing it on the fly. It's just too much for me to wing it. But I do love to wing it. Following a pattern, ooh, doing those things with Missouri Star, I posted over on Instagram with their block of the month. I have everything all done. I just need to do the last block, which is paper piecing. And then they have the borders and stuff, but I haven't decided. I want to see the center section all sewn together and then decide on what kind of borders I'm personally going to put in because I want it to fit my bed, and my bed's a double, and the pattern's for a queen size. So I just need to make some adjustments. But once I do the foundation paper piecing, I can put it together and figure it out from there. I think I have most, if not all, of the blocks. They sent me 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, whatever. I haven't looked at the directions or anything. I can just see the blocks and tell that it's the corners. Hey, Mary. As we all know, it's not going to get turned into a quilt anytime soon anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then I'll just save this piece. This one's Moda Sunshine and Blue Skies. Create joy. I just usually I have them in that container. I think I talk about it in an upcoming vlog video that I just stack the layer cakes on here. I either add the label to that or just tuck it in with the fabric and then I put them in a container so you can just kind of pull out what you need. Speaking of talking about stuff, I wanted to give you guys an update before anyone decides that they need to leave or they've had enough of me today. The vlogs are going to be starting up in June. I decided that it would be smart of myself to make some vlogs ahead of time since you guys didn't have them here for a month or two, anyways. Hi, Jill. So that I've been recording them and I've edited most of them and they're just sitting on my channel waiting to be scheduled and stuff. This is the back of the pouch. So the same thing. I'll be cutting out corners. So I wanted to kind of not have the prettiest. I try to watch what's going to get lost on the side and the top and bottom and stuff. So the vlogs will be starting up next month. I don't know if it'll be June 1st or June 8th. It's pretty sure that it's going to be a Monday morning. I might start it earlier than what it is right now because the tutorials come out at 9 o'clock here, which is 12 o'clock East Coast. So I might do it earlier so those that like to maybe get up with a cup of coffee or tea and watch videos can, have them earlier instead of a lunchtime thing. Because if it's already up, you can watch it at lunch. But if it's not up, you can't watch it with your morning coffee. And then it'll go back to the once a week format. Patrons are supposed to be the first Sunday of the month. They're just getting one video a month, one long video versus 4 short videos. So hopefully that is easier for them to, find if they don't watch the whole thing at once. And then what I've decided is you guys keep asking for different crafts that aren't sewing related, like crochet, and I have some soap making kits and stuff. So I've decided to open up a second channel that doesn't have a set schedule. It might only be once a month, it might be twice a month, it might only be live streams. And that's going to be the random channel. That way, it won't affect the main channel. And we can do random crafts there. We can just hang out. We can sew still if we want. We can just hang out and do whatever and just really be a little bit of a community that's just hanging out together and doing whatever we want. Oh, darn it. I made that stupid thing bounce again. My apologies for those of you that get a little seasick. Beverly's doing another log cabin and a 4-patch with sashing. Oh, yeah. You know what I think is really great is what is it? Just Get It Done quilts or whatever. She talks about doing the after quilt where you take the scraps from the front and you build a quilt onto the back. And I just think it's hilarious because when I first started quilting around 2008, that's kind of what we were doing anyways. We were just piecing the backs, and then people got tired of making a second quilt, so they put a solid backing on. And I think it's just fun that it's coming back around again, and people are using their scraps on the back because it saves a lot of money and it goes together. You don't have to use tiny, tiny pieces. We used to do the solid fabric, and you'd have one band going down across the middle or top bottom down the middle, which is all of your like a crumb band. I liked doing that. Or we do a giant 4-patch or something and add some scraps in there. It's just a great way to use up those random fabrics you might not use again. Okay, and then I have a third channel that's gonna be coming out, and when that comes out, it's going to be a tutorial channel, but it's gonna be different than what we're doing here. I'm gonna hold off on all the information on that one until it's ready, and I'm not gonna tell you any of the names because I haven't set up the channels yet. I have a doctor's appointment on Tuesday, and I plan on setting up the new channels then, and the channel names are not out right now, no one else has it, and I just don't wanna say it and take a chance of someone else grabbing it, you know what I'm saying? So, the second channel is just going to be like, sometimes you guys send me, craft kits. You're like, "Oh, I found this at a garage sale for 75 cents," "You can do this on a live stream." We can do that on the second channel. We can do the bookmaking. We made books, we made boxes. We can do Giovanna's, favorite thing to make is like the fabric beads or the paper beads. We can do that. So we'll be able to do all of that stuff because it's going to be a mixed craft random channel right from the beginning, so it'll be okay. I think what I'll start doing is I'm going to leave the videos here on this channel, but I'm going to also take over the knitting, the crochet, the embroidery ones, the random ones, and just put them over there like put 2 or 3 videos every week, or I think 2 videos a week would work pretty well just to get the channel established, and if you haven't seen the videos before, maybe you'll wanna watch them. Maybe you'll wanna watch them again, but it'll give the people that find the channel something to watch until the other videos come out. And the same thing with the tutorial channel, I wanna make sure I have things done. I will tell you that that channel is going to be no tips and tricks. So for you guys that like to listen to the tutorials here, but when you want to make the project, you want a 5 to 7, maybe 10-minute long video, not much chatter. I can't I'm not good at putting the numbers and the directions on the picture of the video. So I think I was going to do no talking, no music, but I think I'm going to do, you know, put the zipper in, show the zipper, sew this, show that, sew this seam, show the sewing. No actual chitter chatter, no tips and tricks, no other ideas on what to do, just the bare minimum. So that's what that channel will be. There will be some repeats from this channel to that channel, but I think it's going to be a good secondary channel for when you've absorbed the information or you want a refresher and you just want to see that step and you don't want to look through a 30-minute video to find that step. So that's what the third one's going to be. Well, Giovanna, that's why you're going to get the vlog back here. I want everyone to have everything. And I want to make sure that I'm doing things in a way that aren't going to burn me out again, right? So that's why you haven't had vlogs. So it doesn't hurt your feelings. I don't feel the pressure to give you one. So I think I have 4 or 5 weeks worth already done. I just finished one this morning. So, okay, I may show these finished zipper pouches. You might not see it for 5 weeks, but I will continue to put stuff on Instagram and also to put it in the community post over here. So you guys will see when projects are done, but you'll see me. I've been doing, I don't know what the first few are like, but the ones that I've worked on lately have been here's a show and tell, and then I make a project. Maybe there's another show and tell somewhere in there, or I just show you what I just made. Then the next week we'll be chat a little. Here's what I'm working on this week, a little sewing, a little ironing, a little cutting, and then, so I'm hoping that that works out really well. I've got 2 ads in case anyone can hear me. Yeah, one of the things, Giovanna, is knock on wood, I don't want to jinx myself, but generally this style of a video is usually pretty good. This channel, I don't use AI at all. I asked ChatGPT, this is the words I want. Can you make me a title that works with the YouTube algorithm? But there's no actual AI involved. I don't have music. I can't, I know I'm getting spammed because I keep getting threatened to have my channel taken down because I'm using somebody's music. And I'm like, you guys are going after the wrong channel because we don't do music here, right? Excuse me. So I have these and I'm just going to kind of piece it and we'll see. I may have to bring in some more fabric to fix a couple things. But again, I didn't do any major measuring. I just kind of, hey, this is what I did with one, so this is what I'm going to do with another. So I'm trying to be really careful not to get burnt out, but to make sure that I protect my channel because if something accidentally happens, because AI is running YouTube right now, they have more computer stuff going than people. So people have been like losing their channel and losing their monetization. So I need to protect myself, but I'm hopefully not at a high level of, danger of being lost. But if something happens to this channel, I want somewhere for you guys to go. So this channel is going to be monetized and the other channels will be monetized at some point, but you have to have like 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours a year, and all of that. I'm getting ready. I am just shy of 58,000 subscribers here, which comparatively never seems like very much to me, but I am in like the top 10% of YouTube channels because not a lot of people have over 20,000. So I want to be careful. I want to safeguard this community here, but I still want us to be able to explore. Yeah, it's so hard, Giovanna, and it's really hard to get a hold of anyone to get things back and all. So you have to be really careful. Nothing is really straight. I'm just gonna kind of, maybe I should stop, straighten it out a little bit. I have a cutting table set up over here. I have I have one of these little mats, so I'm sorry I made you guys bounce again. My apologies. Just want to straighten it up. Because if the pieces didn't start out straight to start with, you're not going to get a good job when you get it done. All right. This one's not straight either. Let me see if I take a wide angle. So I need to protect myself, right? I need to protect every source of income that I have to the best of my ability and make sure that if something happens, I want you guys to be able to go to my Instagram and see what happened And then, or you can email me, of course, but then you'll be like, oh, okay. So we have another channel to go to and hang out until we figure out how to fix the first one. But besides that, that's just paranoid safeguarding for me. So, oh, okay. See, there it is. It's bouncing right now. I could see it on my screen. You can't see my computer right now, but I just want to make sure that everything is safeguarded and do the best we can with the tools we have on hand and all of that, as grandma always said. And we'll just make sure, we can still do this. But you guys want to do other things, and I want to do other things with you. So when I go, I actually leave the house, or I can check on eBay and find kits, and then we can work on kits on the other channel. This will always be the main channel. You're going to get your chitter chatter here. You're going to get your tips and tricks here. But I still want to be able to offer, in reality, a lot of people, it's not 50-50, and it varies, but you guys come here for the chitter chatter a lot, right? And then other people, they just want in and out. They're like, most people just fast forward to what they want, but the rude people will say something to me about talking too much. And I get it, right? It's not for everyone. So if I do the second and third channel, then they can have the less chitter chatter if that's what they want, right? And they'll still get the tutorial. But I don't want to take the tips and tricks away from you guys. So I think that's going to work out well, that it's not too many videos. The second channel that's just going to be random is going to be random. It's probably not going to get monetized for a very long time, but it'll be a place for us to just to hang out and do random stuff. We can go on walks, we can work in the garden, we can learn how to watercolor paint. We can play with air dry clay. We can play with fabric. I want to do those where you take the skinny spool of thread when it's empty and you put fabric on it, maybe with some Mod Podge, and you wrap it with wire and add some beads and stuff like that. I want to be able to do things like that, like granny crafts and stuff too, for what they say. Yeah, I wanna say there was thousands of channels that went down in all kinds of mediums. A lot of the ones that, okay, let's say you watch my video, right? I mean, obviously this isn't a good example, but you watch my video and then you critique it and you're like, "Oh, yeah, we all watched Robin's video. Yeah, would you see how," or they talk about the news or gaming and stuff. Those channels tend to get a little bit more in trouble. It's an automatic thing, and it's the same thing with Etsy. It's good to have other places to sell your things so that if Etsy decides just randomly, if you don't pay automatic payment for your Etsy items, right? And you owe a nickel, and you don't automatically have the money come out for the payments, they'll close your shop down for a nickel because you owe money. It doesn't matter if you owe $100 or you own a penny, you owe money. So, yeah, so now we can do different things like that. We can do quick applique like my usual tutorials, and then maybe do it during a live stream, or another way to do that with the chatter is safe to do it with the vlogs, because I've done projects that I don't have tutorials with in the vlogs so far. I've done random things where I work on a project. Sometimes I can link it back. Like this week, I made fabric shopping bags for my daughter for her birthday. So you're gonna hear things like Mother's Day, and I didn't. And my daughter's birthday is the 21st. I don't specifically say that in the video, but so you'll be able to figure out sometimes where it's off. Oh, you missed it. So we're gonna have the main channel right here. Nothing's changing except a form of vlogs is coming back in June. I'm thinking it's gonna be the second week in June. The second channel is going to be random stuff, embroidery. It's all crafting. So let's say I go to Goodwill and I find a Mexican making kit. I'm going to work on that kit. Or we're going to do some hand embroidery. Giovanna loves to do beads. She keeps talking about doing beads all the time, and you guys are kind of interested on what she's doing. So we can make fabric beads and paper beads. We can do the crochet and the knit. So we can do various crafts on that channel. Now, the third channel is going to be very minimal talking tutorials for, let's say, like this zipper pouch, right? It's going to be very short, anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm going to practice keeping my mouth shut. No tips, no tricks. Get in, get out, we're done. That type of thing. So that's what we're going to do. We'll have 3 channels. Yeah, it's a crafting channel. Once you guys hear the names, then you'll be like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, Robin, that makes sense. You're right. Those names are kind of, yeah. I had an idea for the names and then I let Chat GPT, you know, go through and they give me like when I talk to Chat GPT, I'll say, "Hey, this is what I'm doing," and they'll be like, "Okay, here's 5 names that work as a good search for YouTube. It'll work with the algorithm, right?" And then they're like, "You have a cozy comfort feel to your main channel, so this list of 5 names would fit that." And then I can go through and pick which one I like, and I usually pick a couple or I'll mix them together and then I'll be like, "Well, what do you think?" And then they'll analyze it and I mean, I know they're just blowing smoke up my butt, 100% aware of that, but I like to it's for a place for me to talk out loud and have a little bit of help making a decision when I don't have someone here right now to help me make that decision. You guys are very helpful, but y'all have different ideas and you don't always help me narrow things down. So it's nice to have something that chat. I can eliminate the chatting. Giovanna, you want me to get rid of the chatting? All right. When we don't chat, that'll be all be Giovanna's fault then. What do you guys think? Yeah, I can eliminate. I know I'm capable of eliminating the chatting. I've done pretty good in narrowing it down compared to what my channel used to be when I started. And it's real easy, especially if I know the third channel is not going to be chatting whatsoever. No one will expect a chatting. No, none of you guys will come and say, "Oh, Robin, I really wish you were chatting in this video. I missed it." No, 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 no. We'll be fine. Oh, in the shorts? Yeah, I'm struggling a little to figure out the shorts and to pick the moments. So I'm trying to just like maybe show the sewing because sometimes cutting the chat, it cuts weird in a shorts because we get 60 seconds. So yeah, there's going to be shorts on all of the channels, probably. Definitely on this channel. Where are my clips? Definitely on this channel. Must hydrate everybody. Ow, elbow cracked. So that's why I figure we'll have chatting here, no chatting on the other one. And then the second channel or the third, however you look at it, doesn't matter. Once they start getting subscribers, then I'll rate them. But this is channel number 1. The crafting channel is just going to be random stuff. There, it won't mess with the algorithm because the algorithm will send it out to random people that do random things. This channel can only get put out to people who sew. So I have to be really careful on what I do. Yeah, well, the chat, that's why the main channel is not going to change, right? We're going to keep, I need to press this one the other way. We're going to keep this channel just as the way we all love it, and we'll have the chat. But I think it'll be really good. So, like I said, we make this zipper pouch here, right? Let's say I make a mug rug with the recent mug rugs videos. I don't know why you guys wanted I hold on. You guys wanted mug rugs, and I thought it was just really fun. And now I don't know why, but I'm just in a mug rug mood now. So I'm making a bunch. So I give you the tips and tricks, and we talk about fabric and different things. But that same tutorial can be remade, put on the third channel, with very little chatting, none of the tips and tricks, so that you can refer back to it as a second round or for those that don't want the chatting at all. So I think they're going to work out really well. Thanks, Giovanna. I really been having fun making them. I always say, I don't know if it's just been ingrained into my brain for the red, white, and blue, but I really love those colors together. Not the muted ones, not the different ones, but just those pure Crayola red, white, and blue is what I call them. I really enjoy those. I don't think this is going to come out right, but we shall wing it. I used 1.5 by 2.5 to raise the letters up taller, but I did have to trim them a little, so we'll see how it goes. But with that second channel, that's going to be the random stuff. That's the one that's like, it's going to be hit and miss. You'll have to subscribe to that channel and turn on the bell because it'll just randomly pop up. Like I said, I'll bring over a few of the videos right away just to get the first month going. And then it'll just be slowly something. And the last channel, the non-talkie-talkie tutorials will never have a live stream. Oh, yeah, see, this does not match up. The patchwork doesn't match up. So let me see. That's off by a lot. We can fix this. We can fudge this is what I'm thinking. I mean, we're not going to like fix it. We're going to fudge it. So no, I think what I need to do is to take the seam rip that. Hey, here's your reminder. Buy cheap seam rippers because they go dull and you need to get a new one, right? Oh, that's fun. I'm glad. Valerie, somebody sent me these. These are from 2015 and I'm going to seam rip. And it's just yeah, not talkie-talkie, not talkie-talkie. It's gonna have the tutorial one is the name is just it's when you look at the name, you need to know what's in there. This fabric feels a little delicate. I need to be careful seam ripping. You'll know when you see it, you'll be like, okay, that's what this channel is about. Perfect. That's what I'm looking for. And then the other one, it has a certain feel also, so that one should be good. If I get everything done on Tuesday, I have to connect everything, but not connect everything. Everything automatically gets connected under your social security number, so you really can never not be connected. But I want to make sure that, like, when you come to this channel, you're not going to see the links to get to the other channels. I will put it on Instagram in my link tree, but it won't be I might no, I won't put it in the description or anything either because I want to make sure the channels stay separate on the surface so that there's no issues in case something happens, you know. It's okay to be paranoid in certain circumstances to protect, you know, things like that. So we have 2.2 step authentication and all that stuff. So we just need to protect what's ours, but also still be able to do what we want and not be paranoid, right? It's just good practice. The vlog, that's like a when they did blogs, BLOG on the just when you search things on the computer and you read a story and stuff, you know, the blogs where you just wrote down things and took pictures. And a vlog is a video log, LOG. So it's VLOG. And it's you'll see when it comes up. I have a couple on here already. It's just what I'm working on during the week and stuff like that. So let me see where the 1/4 is. So let's try it. I mean, it's just shy. It's only needs to have that little bit trimmed off there. So we'll see if this works. Yep, this channel is staying exactly the same as it is. Instead of a Whip It Wednesday, where I talk about what's going on and I show you things during the vlog each week, I'll show you what I finished and I'll work on a project. Because some people like to hear the sewing machine running and stuff like that. So we'll do that. You can go back and look. There's some that say vlog or something here. So you should be able to get an idea. Oh, that's so close. Gosh darn it. The last one wasn't perfect, so this one's irritating me. The letters aren't all perfect. And because they're only an inch and a half, they're like not perfectly sewn either. So I have to be a little careful and I might need to make micro adjustments like this. But by that much I can fudge. By using 2.5 inch squares versus just measuring across and dividing it by 4 and cutting the fabric, it changes, right? And how things are. So sometimes you got to fudge it a little. Well, you're going to like sometimes the way the vlogs have been going, you got my face a couple times, but it's not going to be there all the time. And it just depends because sometimes I start in the middle of the week and then at the end I record the beginning of the video, or sometimes it just changes up and it's just random. It's just random. So it is what it is, right? We'll find our rhythm and things will be slightly adjusted, a little micro adjustments here and there. Sometimes I start the vlog at 7 o'clock at night in my pajamas. I am not going to put my face on camera for that. My apologies. Wednesdays are coming back, but they're going to be on Monday. So the new painkiller might not understand that. I'm leaning towards starting it on Monday, June 8th, and I will post it. Right now, it posts at 9 a.m. in Arizona time, and I'm thinking about having it so it comes up at 5 a.m. Eastern time. So that means I'd set it at like 2 or 3 in the morning here. So it posts between 5 and 6 on the East Coast. And then everyone else can just watch it in whatever their time zone is. I will be back in Florida. The plan is for next year. So East Coast, West Coast, center, north, south, not more south than where we were, but somewhere, somewhere. No exact times, so that's why I don't like say too much, but I want to kind of get the times switched back so that they're where I want them on East Coast time. And then it doesn't matter what time I posted here. If I want it to be in Florida posting at 9 a.m., then half of the year I have to post it at 6. And the other half of the year, I think I posted at 7 because the way daylight savings time is, because we don't have that here, which has been kind of fun. So we'll see. Oh, now it's a little narrow. Whatever. It's going to be fine. It'll all work out. It'll be Monday mornings so that you can have them for coffee time. Yeah, there's that adjustment period when you're taking the new pills like that, no matter what they are, right? Just to get your body used to them and the different, how strong they are, how long it takes for them to kick in, any kind of side effects. Okay, so this is, I think in the end, I might benefit from using things that are like 2.5 inches by 3.5 to give it more of a kind of rectangular thing. And while I like I think I want this more in the center, so maybe a narrow strip, maybe, like a panel. And then I think with the way I do my scrappy zipper pouches, I think doing that for these would be better. I've been thinking about pulling out fabrics for a pouch and laying them out and taking a picture and then saying you can choose this many letters and you tell me your word and I'll sew it into a pouch. For those of you that want like maybe your name or something for bridesmaids or Mother's Day or something, then you can choose instead of saying, "Hey, can you make me something pink?" And then I show you all these different fabrics and you're like, "No, not quite like that, but like this and stuff." You can say, "I like this. This is the word I want." So there's the create one over there. All right. So the next step is I'm going to put fusible fleece on these, and then I'm going to make the front and the back on the third pouch. We've made enough zipper pouches here. I don't think we need to actually sew them, but I want to at least support it and make sure everybody is sitting nicely. Oh yeah, Giovanna, it's way different for you, huh? All right, let me move this. I do use my chair a lot. But every time I use my chair a certain way, it blocks like the door. And that's when people want to knock on the door. They're usually pretty good because the kids can hear me talking to myself and they're like, oh, mom's working. So that's why I told them, I said, anytime I want to like really work and not be interrupted, I think I'm going to put on one of my old videos, like a live stream or something, and just let it play. And then that way they'll think I'm working and it won't be me talking. It'll actually be me working and they'll leave me alone. 'Cause I like to talk to my kids, I don't wanna tell them no, but I also wanna get things done because what they're gonna say is always interesting, so I always wanna listen to them and be part of their lives, but at the same time, I know I'm super easily distracted, so I need to be left alone sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, cause you can sidetrack me, no problem. I sidetrack myself all the time, you guys know that? But yeah, sidetrack. Really, really excited for the new channels, to be honest with you. And I think you guys are gonna tease me and say, "Oh, you were so burnt out that you couldn't do these things anymore, and now you're gonna start new channels." Yes. Yes, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because I think I've gotten things controlled to a certain way that I'm okay. And I'm saving all of my Patreon videos. I was going to start bringing over one a month to give myself a break here, but I don't think I need to do that. And then I can save my old Patreon videos for if something happens and, I'm back home and there's a hurricane, I can post the old videos if I don't have any ready so that the channel is still going and it doesn't have those pauses like when we moved here and stuff and the hurricanes back home. So I'm going to utilize my old Patreon videos so if I need them, I can bring them over here and just post a video. And I'll mention, that it's from, March of 2022 or something. And then you guys will know. Right, he does. Hi, Lee Allen. Lurky, lurky. The sun didn't go down till 9:30 p.m. Wow. It's crazy when it doesn't come up till 9:30 either, though. That's the wacky part. I thought about putting a sign out there, but my kids said they don't care, they're gonna ignore it anyway. So I'm like, "Okay." I mean, if I really want like, if I need privacy and I don't wanna feel guilty about not answering the door, alls I have to do is go in my closet. I can't hear if you knock on my door, I can't hear it in my closet. It's right on the other side of this wall. There's the little water closet with the toilet and then a regular closet. Yeah, I won't hear you. Plus, I've now taken over my daughter's room. If I'm quiet, I can be in there because nobody's going to look for me in there. I moved the fabric shelves from the closet in there. And then I've been reorganizing the plastic bins that I never emptied. and filling up new ones, and I'm storing them in my closet. No, I don't mind them coming in either, but I'm talking like on a regular Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. when I've done a bunch of computer work and I get really in the rhythm and I'm getting stuff done and I'm being very creative. And then my daughter calls or she randomly stops by or the boys knock on the door. And Robbie likes to talk about aliens and stuff. So I never know what I'm gonna hear. I think this needs a pink, or if I have a light brown zipper would be nice. And then, of course, I have to figure out lining fabrics, but I don't know. I think it's nice to help people see different ways, like how to choose a zipper color and stuff. Yeah, I thought we're not gonna run late enough for my daughter knows that I have her shopping bags done. Whew, hold on, asthma. So sometimes she'll just pop in, but I know she's working today, so she's not gonna just pop in. They don't care. They'll come in and talk. Pink zip, you think? Like, okay, I don't have a good tan one. That one could work. I don't know if I have a pale enough pink because, like, this pink is too much, right? I have this pink, and I think that that pink is going to be the one. A dark brown would not work. And for me, this is the easiest way for me to go, oh, okay. I don't have a dark brown, but let me pull this out. Like, let's say this was dark brown. It's like a mauve. Actually, it wouldn't be too bad, but it's a little too dark. So I just lay it out and I see the advertisements. 30 minutes apart is the farthest they'll give me. I don't watch Marvel stuff. 30 minutes apart is the farthest they'll give me for the live stream ads. And I think let me show you why I'm avoiding a white on these because sometimes white is just the only choice you have, but sometimes it's a little bit stark, a little bit bright for what I'm doing. I think this, what color is this? I don't want to do a lace zipper, but I think there's one in here. Is this a creamy enough, tan enough? No, this is kind of yellow. But something like that in a that shade of tan. This is more of a it's almost sandy, but it leans more yellow. This would look nice if it was more of a tan versus it's got a bright yellow color to it. But that's what I was looking for, something like that. But I think the pink will be fine. I do need to plan more lace zipper projects just to use these up. They're not my favorite, but they'll work really well when the zipper's on the front of the pouch versus on the top. So lace zippers are really good for that. I sneak by and get another hydrate. Yeah, so once I get the channels set up, I will send them over to you guys. I hope you guys will subscribe so that you can check the videos. They're going to be, like I said, that second channel is just going to be repeat videos from here to start with. But I'd appreciate it if you guys do find interest in stuff, a future of that channel to just maybe subscribe to it and let the videos play on your phone or tablet. You have to have the volume on YouTube, but you can turn the volume of your TV, your tablet, your phone down. But you can't mute like on this video right here. I hope you guys can see, but there's a volume button right there. If I turn that volume button off or I turn it all the way down to almost nothing, then YouTube in the past, it could be different now, you wouldn't get credit for people just watching the video. But if you take the computer's volume while this one's up high, you take the computer and you turn the volume down, you can let a video or a playlist just run over and over and the channel will get credit for you watching that video 17 times overnight or something. So if we could get those channels monetized, I would really appreciate it. I don't think we can go live until we have like 1,000 subscribers anyways. So the second channel we wouldn't be able to go live on for a while. Okay. It's been a long time since I had to look at those YouTube rules, and they're always changing and stuff. So I haven't kind of kept up with them because, excuse me, my channel is already existing, right? So here is this one. This is kind of a little bit bright and fun. We'll see. Again, this is 4 by 3. And I don't understand the kitty cats, the foxes, and the strawberries, but it's fun. I like this black fabric with the strawberries. So I have 3 fox prints, 3 of the bunting things, but it's okay. And then I have a little bit mellow. This strawberry is a little bright there, but I'm not gonna change things up because I already have 2 kitty cats, 3 strawberries, so I'm just gonna leave it. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. A lot of future things. I'm not doing very well at keeping up with shorts and Instagram. Right now, it's bothering me because Instagram is mostly Missouri Star stuff. So I'm trying to balance it out. Have you done any double welt placket zippers? I've done the welt pocket zippers or whatever in a tote bag. I don't know that I've done a double. I've done a zipper on the top of a tote bag or whatever, and I've done the welt pocket zipper on the front, but I don't know if that counts as a double. Mary, it's going to be on the other channel. You'll be okay. Channel 1 and channel 2 are going to be chatty as crazy, and channel number 3 is going to be the one that's quiet. You'll be okay. You'll figure it out. Once you see the channels, you'll be like, okay, I know what it is. Like, yeah, I know what it is. It'll be okay. Oh no, Jill. I've done that before. It's been plugged in and not turned on or something. Oh no. I've also done the crazy thing where, like, okay, I know that my bobbin's going to run out. And as soon as I'm done with this section, I need to change the bobbin. Do I change the bobbin? No. Then I'm always surprised when I have to go back 17 pieces and resew them all. And it irritates me. Once you guys see the channels, you'll get a feel for them and you'll know which ones you're interested in. I mean, if you subscribe and then 2 months later you're like, "I don't like this channel, Robin," feel free to unsubscribe. I don't expect people to do it. If you never wanna subscribe at all, I understand. But if you don't mind, I would appreciate it. It's an easy way, like I think it was Giovanna said, to cater to everyone. It's an easy way to give all of us what we want in a way that I'm not feeling forced to have high expectations. Channel number 1 has to be perfect, right? We'll just use the word perfect. Channel number 2 can just be, hey, we're all just hanging out, right? We can do whatever we want. We can do jigsaw puzzles. We can read a book together. We can do diamond painting. We can do anything. And then channel number 3 is going to be for all the people that tell me I talk too much. So when they leave a comment and say, hey, you talk too much, just get to the point. I'll be saying, hey, go watch this video then. And they'll be like, oh, okay, thank you very much. Yep, exactly, Giovanna. I'm subscribed to so many channels that either don't even exist anymore. Like I went through periodically, I'll go through like 20 or 50 channels just to see if they're still there. When's the last time? Because some of them they haven't posted a video in 7 or 8 years, right? But I want to kind of save it because I want to go back and see a certain video. And some of the channels are like, this channel doesn't even exist anymore. I'd be like, oh, okay, whatever. But it doesn't hurt to stay subscribed. I have a link down in the description box on my videos that'll take you to Instagram. And Instagram it'll have the links to the new channels when they're up. When the channels are up, I'll put them over here in the description. I'll put them in some videos in a pinned comment. I'll put them in the community tab. But going forward, you won't be able to hop from channel to channel, if that makes sense. Because I want them to be separate from each other for safety reasons. So, in case one channel goes down, like if someone complains about the music on this channel and the AI YouTube just takes it down, and I don't have music on my channel, I'll still have a way to talk to you guys, to have videos, and at some point to hopefully still earn income while fixing whatever weird thing happened. I don't plan on making, like doing evil things on purpose. I try to be really careful, but sometimes rules change and I just don't know it. But I think I'm pretty good on, towing the line and behaving and not doing evil things. So we should be okay. So that part for me will make me feel comfortable security wise. But the main part for you guys is just going to be so that you can, I thought I had 2 of those white squares. I lost one. So that you guys have what you want, but because you guys know, you don't all know the rules about the algorithm and how it changes every 3 to 6 months and every year in a big way. That's my problem to know, right? That's not your problem to know. So I just need to stay within the guidelines so that, I'm findable, I'm searchable on YouTube. And by having that second channel, it's like if all of a sudden I decided to want to do video games and we wanted to be a Nintendo, we all wanted to hang out and play video games together, right? It would need to have a second channel because it's not, you can't put sewing and video games together because if you were to come to my channel and see video games tomorrow, you might come back to check again if a sewing came back, or you might think I changed. So I need to do that part of it to keep us good. But for you guys, you'll have what you want because we'll be able to do that second channel with all of the fun videos that you're looking for. Yeah, I need to have a way so you can keep in touch with me. Instagram should always be the place that if something happens and you're like, why didn't Robin put a video up this Friday? Go to the community page. If I don't post on there, maybe someone else will post and say, "Hey, look at the first look and see if there's a new community post, and if there isn't one, check the comments in the most recent one because someone might go on the comments of one from 3 weeks ago if it's the most recent and say, "Hey, Robin said she's lost power. The dust storm came through and they don't have any power. She couldn't get a video out this week," right? Or there'll be something on Instagram. But you have to have other ways to figure out what's going on with your favorite channels, right? So you'll have those opportunities. Oh, it's connected. I'm a fool sometimes. Looked all over for it, and you guys, you're usually pretty good at paying attention to my stupid stuff, but you missed that one. Haha. This month's Patreon, oh my goodness. I had issue after issue. You know when you start making mistakes and you have to stop sewing? Well, I didn't stop sewing because I needed to finish I think I was doing a Missouri Star, the block of the month. I needed it finished that day. And I needed a video for Patreon. So either way, I could have done anything for Patreon, but I needed that block of the month done or whatever I was doing. So I had to do it. And I just seam ripped a lot and I made a lot of mistakes and I had to fudge things and it got done, right? It got done. That's all that matters. That's just how things are. But when you're having a rough day, sometimes it's better to clean your room than to keep sewing. But I think once it gets going, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up, but I think once it gets going, it's going to be something for everybody and you guys are probably going to enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, then just stay here with us here. You don't have to go watch the other channels. I'm just really kind of excited to do some other things, to just put a camera over there. And if I'm not sewing, I can put the tripod right on the table or pull it out a little bit because I have my grandfather's foot locker from the thing he made from the Navy underneath the back of the table. So I could pull this table away, 6 or 8 inches, put the tripod there and point it at here so you could see me talking the talking head and we could be doing diamond painting or I really want to start making like junk journals and stuff. I just love doing that. We can make handmade paper. Another thing I love to do. I love to dabble, but I just have to. I can't dabble with you guys, right? So we'll be able to dabble. I'm not going to change. Channel number 2 is going to be extra chatty. Well, yeah, it's going to be extra chatty because we'll be chatting about different things. All right, so the back of the pouch could be just one fabric, but I kind of like with as much patchwork as on the front and using the low volume, I kind of wanted to have the patchwork on the back. But if I had, like, I could put strawberry fabric on the back or, maybe something yellow or gray or whatever. But I thought since I have all the minis and it's a 2.5-inch theme, let's go ahead and just do that. It does to be able to bounce around and stuff. Hi, Tony. See, Tony can be on channel number 2. She's painting a closet. We can paint a closet together. Have you guys seen? I've been seeing a lot. I saw this years ago and it's coming back around where people are taking stencils and they're using the putty you put on the wall to fill in holes. They're putting the stencil and they're putting the putty. They used to do it with plaster, I think, and they take the stencil off and it has like a 3D print of a flower. And then you could paint over it or you could just leave it white. I think it's so pretty when they do that. I think I want to do that. Because I think even in a rental, there's ways around doing that still and not to get in trouble. Like I can put it on my bookcases. I need a drink. I'm going to go for water this time. You can put it on bookcases. You can put it on something and that attaches to the wall so it's not on the wall itself. Though we've had maintenance people here and I've laughed with them and they're like, "Oh, something with the paint." And I'm like, "Yeah, the 17 layers of paint." And they're like, "Yeah, we just repaint it every time people move and stuff." So there's a lot of paint on the walls here. My lips are chapped too. The weather this year, I haven't been here long enough, but every season that we've been here has been different than all of the previous seasons. I haven't had 2 summers, 2 springs, 2 winters be the same here. So it's been kind of interesting. There's been no pattern to anything. We were warmer than Florida for a little bit, but now Florida is their feel like temperatures are over 100. So the humidity's pretty high. I don't know. What's the humidity in my room today? It's 79 in my room. It's from the iron and stuff because the AC's set at 78 and the humidity's at 39%, which isn't bad. It's still low, but it's better than the winter. All right, so I think I'll sew the top and the bottom this time and then do the middle. It's been very weird. We had what, triple digits in February? Snow in the mountains? Yeah, it's wacky. I'm gonna move these over here just so I don't mess anything up. So I can go like this and like this and like this and like this. This is like there's a pipe and mustache and bow ties and the hat and the glasses like an invisible man. I have no idea what it goes with any of this stuff. Maybe it's just like novelty prints from Japan. Because I heard there's like the markets, they're like farmers markets, but just all fabric right on the side of the road in Japan. And you can just kind of go through the fabric district and just get all kinds of fun fabrics. I mean, I think that would be really exciting. I don't want to fly to Japan, but it would be fun to have like a shopper. You get on like a FaceTime with someone and they're walking through a store or something, showing you different fabrics like they do for people who are buying clothes. Oh, whoa. we've got something going on here. We got to stop and think. Fabric was too thick there for a second. Yeah, hot and cold. And it's not just me, like hot flashing or anything, but I'm freezing cold when I go to bed. So I have a really, those $5 fleece blankets that are rolled up at Walmart that you can pick up during the Christmas season and stuff. I have one of those that I throw on top of my bed when I sleep with just a sheet on in the summer. So it's been cold. Hold on. 3 rows. Do I not have enough fabrics? What did 3 rows of 4? Did I not bring enough fabrics in? Come on. Oh, this is the front of it. Duh. This is what we're doing. Yeah, I had an extra. Okay. So I think I was going to have that guy in the corner. So I guess he'll just not go in a corner because I have that piece that goes in the center. I really easy to confuse myself. There's 2 pinks together. You know what? It's the back of a pouch. We're not going to worry. Oh, I could do this and then do that and have that be there. That'll work. Yeah, I forgot about that, Giovanna. I got myself confused. I had 2 pieces of fabric stuck together, and then when I was trying to figure it out, I was thinking it was the back of it with the 3 rows, and I forgot about this is the front with the center row. I can watch TV or, listen to a book and stuff and do this, but to talk to you guys and do this, I get myself all confused. There's no pattern to my conversation. It's just all about me. Me, me, me. I'm not going to press these until I know what my words are doing. You can, of course, just skip the patchwork and just figure out your measurements and do one full strip of fabric, right? So let's bring this over. But the rows, these 2 pieces on the end, since it's even, right? These are 2.5-inch squares. If this is supposed to be 1.5, then I made these 2, which is a yellow and a green fox with green and blue, 1.5. And when sewn together, it's supposed to be the same length as this. I didn't go like a full on measure everything. I'm just like, oh, it's a 2.5-inch square. Let me just cut it. So I need to sew these 2 together and see how it matches that. And then to make sure that this is going to be wide enough for all of that. And once I get it all figured out, I can mark the numbers down and write them in my little pattern book, and I'll know. That way everyone won't be a guess. It'll be like, okay, if it has 5 letters, then this is the format I need to use. If it has, 3 letters, then this is what I need. I do need to iron this one though. So that way I'll have a pattern, a loose pattern to make it. Hold on. Excuse me, ma'am. That's mine. Don't touch my stuff. Whiskers woke up from her long winter's nap and she's chewing on my fusible fleece while sitting on my zippers. Don't mess with me, Missy Miss. Toddlers, I tell ya. Whiskers is our oldest. She's 2012 to 26, so she's 14. She lost a few pounds when she had to go on the liver medicine, and now she's like a kitten again, and she's racing around the house, and she's being a little demon, and she's being a butthead. So it's been really interesting. Thanks, Jill. The fabrics are really nice. Like I said, these are the ones that are the Japanese ones from 2015. It's a mini charm pack. I think that'll put them upside down, so I have to go this way. Yeah, you just kind of figure it out, right? And then write yourself a little pattern based on because Morse code's got all the different lengths of things and stuff. And if the pouch isn't exactly um 8.5 by 6.5, it doesn't have to be. It's not like I'm selling a set of four that are all identical, right? Like even coasters don't have to be. It just makes life easier when they're all the same size. And I could be like, okay, I need this fabric because it's this size. Hi, what's going on with you? Mocha woke up. Mocha woke up like a jungle cat giving me this weird look. She's on the gabapentin for her nerves, but she looks high until like I give it to her about 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning. And anytime she falls asleep and wakes up, she's like really out of it. She looks high and she looks like one of those big cats in the jungle and they give you this look like they're coming at you and stuff. And it's just scary sometimes. I'm like, "You good?" Yeah, the dots and dashes, yeah. So they're all I mean, as we get older, we all have issues, right? So if Whiskers is 14, then Amoka's 13. And then in October, S'mores will be 11, which is just crazy because they said if we didn't give her this really expensive specialty surgery that she wouldn't last the night or it was a Friday and they said that she definitely wouldn't make it through till Monday. So when they called on Monday to check in on us, no, you wanted to laugh at us. I know. Evil, evil. They were really surprised that she was still alive. I'm like, yeah, because I treated her like a baby and she slept in bed. I had a little house, those little tunnel houses that I kept s'mores in, and she laid in bed with me, and I got up with her like every 3 hours. Our fur babies are just that. They're our little babies. The boys are home. I'm not opening up the door. At least one boy is home. I don't need you guys wandering around. And while I don't care if people hear me talking, I don't want them to have to feel like they have to be quiet or something. They're already being quiet enough because they know I'm in here on the live. I don't want them to feel obligated to be even more quiet because the door is open. So these I'm going to press to the squares. 16. Phew. But the medicine helps Mocha. She just takes her a little bit to shake her head and to wake up. But she's been running around the house and grabbing toys and making the meowing like they're dying sound because they have their little toy in their mouth and stuff. All right, so the last two need to be pressed in, and the center one doesn't matter. So we'll just press that to the dark side. I need water. I need water, water. I don't know why I'm trying to be so delicate walking by. It doesn't matter. It always bounces anyway. I wish that these had a bigger water tank or that it was one of those long steam ones, but then you'd have that extra tubing to get in the way. I just have to fill it up a lot. I've gotten so used to using the little one when the big one was out of commission that doesn't bother me anymore. But I also forget that I have the big one. So sometimes I have them both plugged in because the big one is good for like the fusible fleece and for doing yardage, big pieces of fabric to iron it and stuff. So they both have their place. I empty the water out of the big one when I'm finished with it. Except for the last time I used it, I did not. There. So I think this is really kind of fun with the more of the low volume ones. We have old ladies for baby, yeah. 15, May 1st. Happy birthday for him. You're very welcome, Mary. Um, these aren't going to line up. This is narrower, so the seams aren't going to line up at all. You know what? That's why I'm thinking to do them 2.5 by 3.5, or 2.5 by 4.5, or 2.5 and 3.25 or something, just so that it's a rectangle. Then things won't need to line up as much. Like maybe this one has 3 pieces and this one has 2. So they'll be like odd numbers and it won't matter. So it won't be strict patchwork. Otherwise, this piece here needs to be 2.75 versus 2.5 to make sure that the seams line up. Or I have to do a scant 1/4 of an inch. And I think I may have already done a scant 1/4 of an inch on these. So it's just one of those things that the patchwork isn't going to line up, is what I'm saying. That didn't sound very British. We have old ladies for babies. It doesn't sound very right in English, American English either. So it's like, whatever, it works. We know. For the Scottish, it's like what, me old lady, me lash, me lass. So yeah, it's just, I think just using random fabrics and random fabric sizes might be the way to go. I only have 1 or 2 words left, and then I have to like come up with new ones. Oh, thanks, Giovanna. I didn't notice that until I just looked up. I have like 1 or 2 words left. And I think quilting these, I'll probably do on a diagonal or crosshatch because I can't do the grid like I tried with the batiks because I learned real quick that it's not going to work. It doesn't matter that things line up, but when it looks like it should line up, or sometimes it does line up and then it doesn't in some places, then it looks awkward. Then it looks like you didn't care or you didn't get it right or something. But when every line is crooked and everything is a mess, then it looks pre-planned. And I'm really good at doing everything as a mess. So that's what I'm gonna go for. Did you want something to eat, sweetie? Oh, I have to go. I have to go feed the muncher. Mocha likes to graze all day long. She'll eat a mouthful and then go take a nap and then come back, or eat a mouthful and 10 minutes later she'll come back for more. Anytime I pick up her bowl, she's like, "Oh no, you took my food away. I have to eat right now. I'm starving." So I told her 2 o'clock, "You want some? Grumpy? Don't look at me like that. I'll give you some if you want some. But if you're gonna be grumpy, don't meow at me. Don't be mouthy. You want this? Well, let's go. Come on. Where you want to eat? Show me. Come on. You want to eat up here? Okay, you can eat up there." She can't eat. She normally eats underneath the ironing table, but the sound of the iron making the steamy sound scares Whiskers. So she can't be there for that. Or when I fold shorts or towels and you snap them first, that freaks her out too. So I have to kind of be a little careful. All right. You should be able to see that it's not even there or on this side. But once it's all done being quilted, I'll just trim it front, back, and lining to fit that size, and it will be fine. So let's go ahead and get some fusible fleece on the back of these, and we'll be done. We'll be done for the day. I used to free feed them and they used to graze, but S'mores has to have special food because of her intestinal stricture. So if she eats too much of her sister's food, she gets deathly constipated, and I have to take her into the vet and have all kinds of nasty things done, and she gets really sick and she loses a lot of weight. She used to only weigh 3 pounds for years. I got so excited when I got her up to 5. I think she weighs 8 pounds now. So she's never going to be like a big cat. Like she's always smaller than the other ones, but she's really grown a lot and gained a lot of weight. So I have to be careful. So food gets put down, food gets picked up. I can't leave things down because I can't take a chance of S'mores eating it. Now, if it was just the other two, I'd give them half of their food and then let them have it. And then I'd give them half of their food for and let it have it all night. But as it stands, I just have to be really careful. We don't want to take any chances of poor little S'moresy because she's so sad when she's sick. She looks so pathetic. It's just horrible, and I don't like to put her through that. So people who talk to cats, truth hurts. That's me. I talk to cats. Okay, now I know my kids look at me like I'm a lunatic, and I don't care because you know what? As they get older, they laugh at what mom does now, but as they get older, they're doing the same things. I've noticed, I think it's because S'mores and I had such a close bond when I would be up with her every 3 hours, every hour and a half in the middle of the night. My whole 24-hour existence was to keep that cat alive. We got like a really close bond. And I've noticed that when my pain levels are too high in the middle of the night, if I fall off my pillows and I get a crooked neck, S'mores gets right into my face, wraps herself around my neck, and forces me awake. And then once I wake up, she'll do it over and over again until I wake up. When I wake up and I sit up and I say, yeah, 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 and I roll over and get more comfortable, she'll leave me alone and go to sleep for the rest of the night. My asthma's been bothering me, so I must be breathing weird at night or maybe snoring. So she's been waking me up, and I get up, I reposition myself, I use my inhaler, and then she leaves me alone. So I think she's like my little protective cat. So yeah, I talk to them. I say things, they understand what I'm saying. I understand what they want in most situations. Sometimes we fight, sometimes we, hug and make up. But, I don't know. I think if you have pets and they're part of your family and not just, uh-oh, we have a cat fight? No. So when they become that close and they're like your indoor cats and they're not like a dog chained up outside or running around free in the backyard and stuff, I think when you're with them that much, you get a certain relationship with them. And yeah, you talk to them and you understand them and there's emotions involved. They're pets are different now than they used to be, right? They're a different part of our family now. Now I'm picking up food. So, that's I don't care if my kids laugh at me for talking to them. They know when we're not well, right? They snuggle up with us. They know when you're sad. Yeah, it's just different. What's been different that's been driving me crazy is Whiskers has always been she's a female cat and she's always liked boys better. She knows mom cleans the litter box and feeds her, brushes her, takes care of her, all of that, but she was in love with the boys. So the boys moved out and then Rob passed away. I was the only one left that could give her the love and attention. And then when I moved in with the kids and Robbie and Justin used to be her favorite, but Robbie is it Rob her Whiskers is Robbie's cat. We got her for him. Mocha is Mandy's cat. And Justin, we're all allergic to cats, but to certain degrees, like whatever. Justin doesn't have any animals. He had snakes and spiders and stuff. He's a boy. But now Whiskers is like in love with Robbie. So whenever he comes home from work, she's all like talking to him and chirping and purring, spinning around and rolling around all over the place and, rub my belly. And she likes to play in his long hair. She's just like a girlfriend, you know? So she's all over. But when Robbie works a lot, he's doing carpet and tile cleaning and stuff like that now. So he's gone for hours, either all night or all day. So she gets lonely and she starts crying at me and asking for lovin'. And I give her lovin', and it's the wrong kind because I'm not a boy. I don't do it right. So she just gets upset with me. So yeah, cats, they attach. The Scrappy Crafter, let me show you the picture on the thumbnail for this video. So there's that, and those are going to be ready. We'll pick a um, a zipper for that in a minute. But Ruby Star Society has this fabric lines that's called um, Salvage Magic, and what it is, I have to be careful. I can't let the cats have the wool mat. Is you buy yardage. I don't know where the yardage starts at with the letters and stuff, but it's yardage that just has all of these letters on it and numbers. And it has the hashtags, it has the at sign, it says the word the and the word and. It's Ruby Star Society Salvage Magic. And this is the letters. Okay. So you have this, and I ordered it from a quilt shop on Etsy, but they didn't say it was a pre-order. So I kept waiting for it, and I wanted it. So I just went to the Fat Quarter Shop and I got it right away. And then it finally came in from Etsy. So I have quite a few yards of it. But I mean, it's not going to be made after a certain point, and you won't be able to afford to buy it. If you want this stuff, follow my link to, if you don't mind, I'd appreciate it, using my affiliate link to get to the Fat Quarter Shop. They have the cheapest prices for this. There's three different kinds. There's one that is squares like this, and it has symbols and animals and stars and moons and all kinds of stuff. And then the third one that just came in that I haven't played with yet is their salvages. So this is printed yardage, but they have their salvages on here from, I think I saw 2019, 2024. So they have the years on their salvages, 2021. So you got bird is the word, Teddy and the Bears, peppermint please, fall seven times, get up eight. Oh, I was thinking fall like autumn. Fall seven times, get up eight. Trust your journey. So people use these for the bookshelf quilts when you can put this on the side of the book for the title. So there's all kinds of stuff. Winter glow, there's strawberries, firefly, spooky darlings, pearl, I love yarn, reading nook. So there's all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm making zipper pouches with the words, and in my Amazon storefront, I'll show you how I'm keeping the letters. Now, I have two things. One of them I can't help you with. This was like 69 cents at Walmart or one of their pencil cases a couple years ago, but now they're like $7. So, but they have a little clear thing. So, what I have left in words that I've already made is notions, whatever, and fearless. I thought that these would be really fun for to put names on for kids for zipper pouches or for bridesmaids, right? So they have these bead boxes that fit these letters perfectly. So I have the numbers to and from by the little pieces that were cut off. There's plus and minus hashtags. And then in this one, I just sit down when I want to do something at the end of the day instead of, going over and knitting or something, I just cut off a chunk of it and then I individually cut out each of the letter and I fill up my bin. So when I want to do a word, then I can just pull out the letters and spell a word. And when I spell the word, I can just leave it in here till I'm ready to sew with it. So when I want to sew, I can just sew. I don't have to look through all that yardage and find the letters. It's all right here. I have at, exclamation, the ampersand, and a question mark, and then A through Z. There's cursive, printed, there's I don't know if you can see the rock and roll type letters that are drawn around. There's bubble letters, uh, capital letters, small letters, all kinds of stuff. So it's really kind of fun to mix and match. And all of the L's are in different colors. All of the M's are in different colors. So it's a really great fabric. I love Ruby Star Society. It's just usually too expensive for me, but I love it. Right, Giovanna? You have everything all ready for you, and you don't have to go and look for anything. So, what we've made today is I started without you guys, and we've sewn so many zipper pouches. I didn't want to take the time to make the zipper pouch. I wanted to just hang out with you and sew, right? So, I have a longer one. So, this one's 10.5 by 6.5, and it says create. And I wanted to see what it looked like with bright, colorful batiks, and the same on the back. Normally, I put one solid fabric on the back, but I thought I'd be different this time. And then the one we chose the pink zipper for is this one says smile. And I wanted more of the low volume, softer, more romantic feeling. I don't know all the terms for these things. I just know that that's what that is. And then I patched work on the back. I'll have to choose a really light colored lining. I can just go with white, but I like who do I like? I don't normally go after designers, but I've really been getting into the designers lately. Let me see if I have salvage on this. And then I never remember their names, but I'm always like, you guys know their names, and I don't have salvage on this. Who's the lady? Is it Lori Holt that has all those little stencils and does a lot of applique? She has a lot of low volume with just a little bit of color to it. So when the fabric gets smaller, I tend to cut the selvage off. But I've been loving using these in for the linings and stuff. So you could, if you wanted to, you could do a YouTube channel and not talk. You would definitely have a music background channel because that's what those people tend to do. But the people, you don't have to show your face on YouTube. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. So there is a variety of things. If someone really had something they wanted to share with the world, you could still do it and just do it a little differently. And then I thought dream with the word, it's kind of fun and, it's dreamy, it's all in the clouds. So I thought this kind of novelty style fabric would be good. So now we need to pick a zipper for that. And then we'll all run off and go do our own thing. I have got just a little bit left in me. Create is good for the pouch. And I thought even for like notions, so I thought notions would be good for like a zipper pouch, for like scissors. And I thought I would do the word scissors. And then if someone wanted to request, you can have your name. RsIslandCrafts is a little long, but I could either put it on 2 lines or just have a long skinny pouch. It could be a mug rug. It could be on a wall hanging. It could be a key fob because it's 1.5 inches tall for the letters. They're 1.5 inches square, I'm pretty sure. Then, you can put it on almost anything. On a lanyard for the teachers. I've seen that Ruby Star at the latest QuiltCon had a whole bunch of letters cut out like I did, and they just put that and some scrap fabrics on the table, and they let everyone make name tags for the last this year's QuiltCon. So I thought that was a great thing too. Thank you, thank you. So even if you were like, Robin, I like to make one pouch. I want to make the pouch myself. would you send me some letters or would you sell me some letters or something? I bought enough so that I can do what I need and I have enough that I can sell small amounts in the shop. I can sell certain letters and, do it that way. It's a little bit more work and a little harder and no guarantee if you say, "Can you please spell the word notions but only use pink letters?" I might be able to do it. I might not. And I'm always open for like trades and stuff too. If you're like, "Hey, I got a fat quarter. Will you send me these 7 letters or something?" Just different things. What do you guys think? Pink? Key fobs. I have 2 ideas for key fobs that I'm really excited about. One is the words, and I think the salvages, let's see what the sizes are on these. Salvages vary because there's like these skinny bits that go through. Oh, these are just a skinny bit of color. So the salvage itself is 3/4 of an inch. So if you had a little bit of the pink and a little bit of the blue, you can still make a key fob with that or lanyard because they're interchangeable. And then you would just have to have a bonus piece of fabric to go on the inside. So when you fold it all up and you have it, so they plan these things ahead. Like there's that one fabric that you can buy that's binding in different widths. So you just cut it off the yardage and then you bind a quilt with it. I don't know who that designer is because again, I don't necessarily follow designers, but I see, yeah, I did that tutorial for the scrunchy lanyards, and I've been seeing them pop up again, and I thought, "You know what? I wanna make a bunch of those." I like the scrunchies. We wore them on our wrists in the '80s all the time. So I really do like the scrunchies, and I thought, "Why not make some of those too?" So do I have a nice that pastel pink I think would be nice on here, but I don't oh, I do have another one. So there's the pastel pink. There's the pastel yellow, and these are all from Zip It on Etsy. They have had to raise their price, right? Raise. You sometimes you say a word and you're like, "Did I get it right?" They have had to raise their prices. See, sometimes it's the word after that makes it weird. They've had to raise their prices, so they're a little bit more expensive than they used to be, but I like the YKK zippers, and I don't care as much for the generic Amazon ones because I haven't found a consistent shop that has the same zippers all the time, and I love a smooth zipper. I really despise when they're jerky and stuff. A light blue, I would like this in a lighter color. That would be fun on some of them. So here's the light blue. So we'll put the pink and we'll put the yellow. And there's the light blue. The back matters a little bit, but I don't, you know. Takes Mary. Yeah, the kids are fun. Oh, we want to go with the word, you think? The light blue with the word? And then let me pull out a white just for, we always say shits and giggles. We've been live long enough. I think I can swear a little bit. And no, the white would work, but I try to use the white when I can't get any other ones to match. I do like to add a little bit of color. The blue, you think? People pass notes in chat and do whatever they want in the comments. We don't ignore you, but if you're having a side conversation, we just kind of read your inner thoughts and then we skip by. So what do you think? Pink or blue, guys? Or here's yellow. Blue, blue. I think I would have went with yellow. Now I chose the last one with pink and didn't give you much choice or the orange, so I'll let you guys have the blue this time. See, yellow. I think yellow too. But if you guys like blue, it really, while the zipper color matters, it doesn't matter that much. If 2 colors will work, I'll let you guys. Sometimes I Look, it's my shop. I'm doing the work. They're my zippers. I can see it in person. I will sometimes override you and choose a color, but yeah, see, Jackie, I like it to be like, you can have a white on almost anything, right? A white is like, I think of it like thread color. You can use white for anything that you need to, right? White or black. But sometimes it's nice to have a little pop of color. And since we're doing a patchwork and we're having a lot of color, Sue says blue, she's a quilting genius. Sue doesn't hang out with us that much, so we're not going to allow her to vote in this matter, right, Sue? Put the yellow out again. I kind of like the yellow personally. I kind of like the yellow. I think the blue is a little bit too, like, there's only a blue here. There's a little bit of blue and a little bit of blue, but I feel like the yellow kind of works. Was that the yellow I had? Yeah, nice pale yellow, right? Do I have another yellow? Sometimes they look different in the bag. There's a yellow yellow. Had to been right on top, right? Let's move the blue up to the top where it would be. And then I don't think anything's gonna go with the back, right? I think it could really just service to be done with a white. I think a white would work for it. Wow, Lee Allen. Well, Lee Allen, we're going to say good afternoon to you. We'll be leaving in a little bit once we finish arguing over zipper colors, which matter, but don't always matter that much. When two or three colors will all work, it's really just kind of personal preference at that point. And then I'll probably have, sometimes I'll match the lining to the zipper. Sometimes I match it to the outside. Sometimes I just throw a white in and it doesn't really matter. Put the blue next to the other one like that. Because when you look down at it, you can see both sides. So I think the blue will work. I'm kind of thinking it's blue or white, right? The little silly things that were like at our sticking points, we're like, oh, whatever. We just grab fabrics because they all go together, and then we're going to argue over zippers. Yeah, Leon got a lot done, didn't she? So you guys like the blue? I think the yellow is not a quite yellow. It's like a tanny, creamy, peachy yellow. If it was this yellow, I think we'd be in better shape. But I think I've used all those yellows up, and I just have like bright yellows. And I don't think that, I don't know if the bright yellow versus the pale yellow. Yeah, it's the same yellow. You like this more tanny yellow? It's kind of like an orangey, like, yeah, like I said, like a very light, pale, peachy color. I am the boss. Put the blue. I think it is. I think blue. It's either going to be blue or white. I think that's just what we're going to need to do because I'm not too thrilled with this peachy color. It's good. Oh, look, look, those two fabrics are matching. I just love when I do scrappy things and I still end up with something wacky like that. And if I spin it around, then these will be on the bottom. And I mean, I can go like this. Do you mind if it's quirky and you get the weird patches that match like that? What do you think? What is your opinion on that? If you have these two match, or if like the two on the side match or something. I just leave it because I've already gotten annoyed with it at that point. But as a customer, with that, I mean, most of you guys are just like, we're not that picky, Robin. Get over it. But I know that some people are very picky and things bother them, right? And you, if you're paying good money for something, you should have what you like. It's meant to be, yeah. I try, Jackie, and I sometimes I'll look, but I have a problem with that 3D, seeing it in all the directions, and I just end up just with an oopsie. I just oopsie it every now and then. And something like this is not worth it for me to pull it out, but I have done more seam ripping than I have done in the past. But so we have dream and we have smile and we have create. Yeah, I thought about that, right? I mean, I can flip it over. The only thing then is if I flip it over, these two are going to lose an inch, right? I'm going to box the corners for an inch. And if I turn it over, I will lose the cat and I'll have these two light colors up at the top, which really isn't a problem. And it doesn't match anywhere. So that's what I'll probably have to do. Sometimes I like the darker colors on the bottom, sometimes I like them on the top. Sometimes I try to hide fabrics that aren't my favorite on the bottom or along the edges because you lose 3/8 of a seam to to an inch and stuff. So, but it'll be fine. And I've been going back and forth. Some projects I do put my tag on the front, and other projects like these, I'll put it on the lining or possibly on the back because I don't want my shop tag to compete with this. Yeah, I think on these I put it on the lining already. So I don't, if there's a word there, I don't want my shop tag to compete with it, and I don't want my shop tag to break up too much of the there's an ad. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. It's fun to hash things out back and forth. I don't know. I might be talking to myself. Let's see. Okay. All right, 2 ads. I think it's fun to hash it out with people that do similar things so it doesn't feel weird. Like, why are you guys where who cares where the fabric is and stuff like that. But I think it's really fun. And I'm going to say something that's probably going to surprise almost all of you, but I'm going to tell you which of these pouches is my favorite. I would not make this for myself. But I love the little romantic, the light backgrounds, the calm. Oh, no, I gotta feed the other cat. Cat number 3 wants to be fed now. I like how gentle and sweet that is. I like how mellow and the I don't know, not Little House on the Prairie, not 70s, and whatever time frame. I like the dresses with the flowers and the little pastels. So I really like this one. I'm not a brown fan, but I'm really drawn to this one, and I think this one is really cute. I do like the dream. I like all of the different little novelty things with the strawberries, and I'm not a big fan of the fox and everything, but it looks really cute. This melted invisible man thing is just weird, but it adds to the charm of it, right? So I think it's really cute. Yeah, the Lori Holt fabrics, it just has that feel to it. Now, I love me a good bold pouch, but there was a couple of issues with this one that have me kind of put off a little on it. But I do think it's very sweet and I think it's cute and I love how bright and colorful it is. I love these are jelly roll strips and it came from one bundle and I love the geometric designs within those, but I didn't use white thread, and I tried to kind of compromise with a light blue, and I really wish I'd have used the cantaloupe orange. So because of that, I say the Create's not my favorite, but I really do love them all, and I hope they all do well in the shop. I I'm planning on spending tomorrow listening to audiobooks and packing up my storage bins. I don't want to get caught to the point like we can move at any time or we cannot move until next year. I want to just have things done. If I don't need things and they're just like my childhood and the kids' childhoods, the kitchen stuff we're not using. I want to purge some fabrics. I know I've mentioned it a few times and haven't done it yet because I need to order some shipping stuff. I just want to get all that little stuff out of the way so that when if a surprise opportunity comes up and I need to be packed and moved in a month, I want to be able to do it. If I don't leave for a year, I want to enjoy my year. And I also want to spread I want to spread my room out a little more. I've got a double size room. I took over my daughter's room. I've got the big closet. Yeah, I just want to be able to get to my fabric that I want to use and be able to get to it without moving things out of the way and sitting on the floor. I just want to be able to walk up to my bookcases, find what I want, and make something. So I'm using the Pellon Fusible Fleece. I like how it keeps the pouches soft as if it was quilted, but it gives it just a little more structure than straight up batting because I use the Warm Company warm and white batting. I have warm and natural because I buy whatever's on sale on Amazon, but it's thin and still soft and fluffy, but I like the pouches. If I just use 2 pieces of fabric, I don't have to quilt it. If I use patchwork, patchwork is a quilt, quilts need to be quilted, I quilt it. So that's just the thing I do. So that's what I have. And on the lining, I'll just put the 2 pieces of cotton fabric. There's this one is a faux batik. It's like a Moda grunge type something or another, ice dyed, and that's just enough. There I like the pouches that can be shoved in a tote bag. They can be filed in a plastic bin. You can put your cross stitch projects in it. You can put paperwork in it. You can use it to go to the grocery store and stuff. So the Pellon Fusible Fleece is my favorite. That's what I was thinking, Jackie, and I'm also going back and forth on whether or not I wanna spend the money because I keep forgetting that I have the big Oliso iron that makes the weight and the heat of pressing the fusible fleece and the stabilizer interfacing a lot better because I hadn't used it for so long, I keep forgetting that I own it, it's in the closet. So when I finish rearranging things, because once I rearrange everything and get it just the way I like it, then it'll be time to move. One way or the other, we're leaving this house in February, whether we go to the other side of Surprise, Arizona, or we go back to home to Florida. Somewhere in that time frame between now and then will be somewhere. So either way, we know we're leaving this house. So that's the thing. So let me know if you guys want any special projects made for yourself for me to put in the shop. Let me know if you need any letters. We'll come up with some type of a like some of you guys have sent me a lot of stuff, and I'll be like, I'll just put them in an envelope. If you want like 4 letters, I can put it in an envelope and mail it to you. If if 40 of you want 4 letters, then I might have to come up with something in the shop. But if you just want a little something, I only bought a certain amount. I'm pretty sure I bought 5 yards because I like to buy 5 yards of this. But if it becomes really popular, then I'll have to buy more just to have it on hand because I like to have things I really like in the 3 to 5 yards, up to 10 yards, couple bolts at a time that I use over and over again. And then I like to buy small amounts of just fun stuff. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate Scrappy Crafter. I know, Giovanna, I am totally spoiled that I have lived in this room for a 24-hour period. I have snacks in here. I can have drinks in here. I have the bathroom. I have a window. The room's big enough for me to do all of my crafting. I have one, two, three, four, five, 6 bookshelves. and a rolling cart in here, plus a dining room table and a side table. So it's huge. I have a dresser, I've got the full-size bed, and I'm not crowded. So it's good. I have a lot of stuff. I went through all of my fabric at the beginning of the channel when I was doing the crumb curtains. I used up all of my scraps. I had to cut into yardage. I went through almost all of my yardage, and then someone was kind enough to send me, I think I think it was 11 large flat rate boxes of novelty fabrics. And then you guys have been generous enough to send back boxes and envelopes of scraps and stuff. Plus, Crafty Godmother has sent me a lot of yardage and the pre cuts. And then partnering with Missouri Star, I get fabric from them every month. So I'm really good on like random fabrics. I just tend to purchase the low volumes, the whites. I'll get a light gray or I'll want some blacks. And then I have been collecting stripes, stars, a little bit of plaids, and polka dots. And now I'm starting to collect let me show you. I'm starting to collect the black fabrics with designs on it because I have a few ideas for that. And like, okay, this one's skulls, but so you have white on black, and this one has hearts on black, and then you've got black on white. I've always enjoyed those, so now I'm starting to look for charm packs and layer cakes that have those things. And then when I can, I'm a little picky and choosy about what I join. Missouri Star will give me a list and then I'll decide what I want to join each month. I try to avoid like the English paper piecing, the foundation paper piecing. They usually have some type of cross stitch or embroidery. I know my time limit that I can't do those things. But I need to get through a few days of stuff. Like I said, I wanna go and just clean out stuff. I don't need my planners from 3 years ago. I wanna flip through, make sure there's no notes written in them, and then I can get rid of them. I don't journal in them or anything. They're just, "What am I gonna do tomorrow? What video am I making?" They can go, right? So I don't need to move those again. But with that heat press, I want it for large tote bags and to do things for the kids to make them T-shirts, but it's not an absolute necessity. So I wanna make sure that when I make these decisions, I'm making a good choice and that it's something I'm gonna use enough that it's worth having in the studio. Because the bedroom size is gonna go back down to what it was in Florida. Most bedrooms in Florida are like 10 by 10, 10 by 12. This one is 2 bedrooms. I have a carpet that I think it's a 10 by 10 carpet, and it's like half the room. So that kinda gives you. Oh, but I'm a Florida gal through and through. I'm a Florida gal. I have to go back home. I have to go back home, you know? These are both I purchased these from the Fat Quarter Shop. I do have the affiliate link in the description box of my videos. I think I only paid 13.89, 15.72, some weird number where other places were charging more. Some people had these letter ones, $25 a yard when I can get it at the Fat Quarter Shop for 15. When I order something on Monday, there's many times that I get it. They're in Texas, so I'm not too far away, right? I ordered this, and before I even started going, am I supposed to be getting a package soon? It was sitting in the mailbox for 2 days. I get it within a week. They ship so super fast. Their prices on their mini charms and charms are really good. They have a lot of the newer fabrics. Missouri Star has a lot of nice stuff, but the Fat Quarter Shop has more. I like the Fat Quarter Shop and I like Shabby Fabrics. They have a lot of kits and block of the months and the table runners and the mug rugs and stuff like that. But random stuff I get on Etsy, and I really do enjoy, it's really nice. Florida bedrooms are smaller, but their walk-in closets are pretty decent too. And I don't need to hang up that much. I need like a 6-foot spot to hang up my t-shirts. There's not a lot of winter clothes in Florida. Like here, I have a dresser full of winter clothes. And when the winter comes, I take the summer clothes and put them in the dresser and I hang the winter clothes up. I like to be able to see the colors of my t shirts and decide based on my mood and what I'm doing that day, what color I want to wear. I wanted to be bright and cheerful today, so I wore my orange t shirt. Maybe tomorrow I might want to wear a gray one because I'm going to be covered in dust and fiber anyway. So I'm gonna go through and do all that. And I lived in Florida for over 40 years, so I'm used to the bedroom size. I can put the bookshelves all around a rectangle closet because you walk in this way. Florida walk-in closets are like this, where the Arizona ones are like this that I've seen so far. So you can put all of the bookshelves all around here and then have like the back spot just to hang up clothes. And then my bookshelves are tall, and I also have the two half ones that you pile them one on top of the other. So I can just have two short ones and hang my clothes on top. So I'll be fine. I put stuff under my bed. I don't have a lot of personal belongings. I have a lot of crafty belongings. So you just tuck things away. Yeah, 12.98 a yard. Yeah, it's the best place. Yeah, but you know what? Jackie, I miss the humidity, I miss the rain, I miss the sun, the smell of things. I miss going around the yard and I hate pulling weeds, but I love having the sun in the morning or in the evening as it's going down and the beautiful sunsets and sunrises and pulling weeds and actually like it's a whole different kind of purging of your body, like the cleansing of it when I know this is gonna sound weird, but you sweat differently. And when you do, it just kinda like it feels like you're cleaning out your pores. My lips weren't chapped. My asthma has been so much worse here and my allergies that I don't think I've had a normal voice in over 2 years. It's always raspy now. And it's just from the allergies and the asthma. It's really hard here for me to be outside. So I'm like pale now. I don't really tan that much anyways, but I am like white, white now. So it's just nice. I just Florida, we went to upper state New York by Fort Drum, and we were in, the 12-foot snow piles and just year-round, like, cold, and it's gorgeous up there in the summer with the rivers. I love, like, Tennessee with the rivers and the woods and upstate New York, but ultimately, after a year and a half, we went back to Florida. We've been here the longest, and I've wanted to leave for a while, but I'm not the only person, right? It's just not me. I'm not going to screw over my family just because I have a temper tantrum and I want to go home. I'm good, If everyone's like we're staying in Arizona for the rest of our lives, I'll be like, fine. I'm good. I'll adjust. It's fine. But, ultimately I'm a Florida girl. The dry heat is not good for me. It is not. I think so. I think when I go to Florida, I'm just going to get over any of my I didn't wanna be the only family member left in Florida and be old. There's certain concerns to that. So look, you're gonna make me cry now, guys. See, I'm such a crybaby. But crying is good for you because otherwise your eyes dry out. I put so many eye drops in here because my eyes are always dry, but I didn't wanna be left behind. You guys have been here with me for a while. You know all the crap I've had to go through, and you know, I'm over it now. I'm good. I cry, but I'm good. I can be in Florida and be alone. So what? So what if I die in my house and my cats eat my face and no one knows for 3 days? It'll be fine. It's Florida. They're used to that. They have a special phone number you can call back home that if you think your neighbors died, you can call and the police will come out and check. I'm laughing, but it's really kind of crazy that they have to have that. But there's just so many older people in Florida that you have to you can call a special number to see if your neighbor's dead because you could smell something. It's crazy, but it's Florida. I miss the gators. I miss the turtles. I miss the beach from the 80s. Now there's I would love if living in Florida, I would go 3 miles away and rent an Airbnb on the beach just to have a private beach because the public beaches are just so crazy. I know you guys worry about me when I'm like I don't show up and stuff. You're like, "Hey, oh, I just noticed Robin hasn't been here today. I wonder where she is." Because, if I don't put a video up at 9, you guys kinda don't always watch it at 9, so you're like sometimes, "Well, Robin's probably running late and it comes up at noon, so you're fine." But, during the hurricanes and stuff, you guys notice when I'm missing. Yeah, well, it's a wellness check, but it's a little bit different, Giovanna. Sometimes with the wellness check, they can only knock on the door and they can't go in, but some people have special permission through the state to actually, like, go into your house under certain circumstances. The regular police just can't, but there's certain parts of, like, the fire department and stuff where they're allowed to break down your door to see if you're dead because, you smell. Thank you, guys, I appreciate it. There is so much of Florida. Like I said, if this was it's fine. I love the winters here. I don't like being cold. I don't like feeling shriveled up. But this past winter was weird. It was cold, but not cold enough. So I was always in the in between where you have to have a certain amount of clothes on and you're good, but you're still kind of cold. But if you put more clothes on, then you're hot. It's that, and I don't think menopause helps, right? I'm 57 and my body doesn't know what temperature it wants to be anyways. I started telling the story that I wear a blanket to go to bed, but by 4 AM, I'm burning hot and I've got to take the blanket off. The temperatures are just so fluctuating since we got here. I think we brought wackadoodle weather with us. I can still count 7 days of rain, and only two or three of them were like flooding rain. And you guys are all like, I'll be in Florida. I'll be like, yeah, it flooded today. And everyone's like, oh my God, it flooded. I'm like, yeah, but it went away. As soon as the rain stops, the ground soaks it up. Here, you kind of stay flooded for a bit. It's kind of scary. Yeah, it snowed in Florida. I don't know. Bye, Scrappy Crafter. So, it is what it is. Yeah, see, Giovanna, as you get older, if you live alone, oh, I struggle with the sugar. I can't drink because of my medication, so I don't drink. So yeah, my feet don't get cold too. I mean, I wear socks year round, but I'm good. Right? You got to put that one foot out. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll be fine. I haven't cried in a long time. I'm pretty good. Just some things, they're a little emotional. All of our family passed away or moved away. Um, my brother, I don't speak to my brother and I don't speak to my mother, but they're both here in Arizona now. So, my mother moved from Connecticut and my brother moved from Carolinas, I think South Carolina. I always second guess myself, but I think it's South Carolina. My sister moved from Florida up to the father-in-law had like a acreage and stuff in Georgia, so she's up in some type of Georgia slash Tennessee type place with the streams and the woods and the hunting and stuff. So, and my sister passed away. So in Florida, there's really nothing. It's hard in Florida because when you're from Florida, you live in Florida. You live and die in Florida. That's where you're at. People come from other states to Florida and realize it's not what they thought it was, and they have to leave. And the younger people have to leave to be able to afford things and stuff. And if you move from like Pennsylvania to Florida and then you miss the winter, you end up going back to Pennsylvania. But I lived in Florida since 1982. I was 13 when I moved to Florida. I'm a Floridian. Maybe not born and raised, but all three of my kids were born in Florida. So it's like whatever. It all gets figured out in the end, right? We figure it all out. We figure out it's life. We're older, right? Most of us are older. A lot of you guys are a little bit older than I am, and we've lived life. We've figured it out, and oh, I do not like snow whatsoever. The cats, yeah, right. You get used now. The heat here is no big deal. Um, let's say you're cooking something in your oven at 450, 500, we'll say 450 or whatever for a long time, and you lean over the oven door and you open it and you get blasted with that heat. It's that dry, burn your skin heat to make your eyeballs dry out. That's what I think of when I walk out the door. If I were to walk outside right now at 3:30 in the afternoon, was 3:20, that's what it feels like. It feels like opening an oven door. Now, in Florida, you're hot, right? You got that, but you got the humidity and there's the moisture in the air, and it feels like you walk out and you're drenched in sweat right away. It's like steamy fog, you can feel the moisture in the air and stuff, and it's not all the time. But here all summer, it feels like you just stepped into an oven. So it's kind of hard. It you get used to, yeah, you get used to the heat, you get used to the cold. I always say, living in Florida, I always wanted some colder days because we rarely had you have to have like a week in the winter so that the cold snap will get low enough for the fruit trees to actually sweeten up. So you do get a couple of nights with frost warning and stuff, but for the most of the part, it's 70s and 80s all winter long, and then you're in the 90s with feel like temperature of 115, and the Arizona 115. They're about the same, but it's different. The dry heat is different than the humidity of the heat. I think if people who lived in Arizona all their life in July or August went to Florida, they would be like, "Oh my god, it's too hot here. I can't handle it." And then you take the humid person from Florida and you put them in the desert and they're going to go, "Oh my god, I can't stand this dry heat." So while the temperatures and the discomfort are similar, there's a big difference between a desert dry heat and the humidity of Florida. Plus, I'm all about the bright colors and there's nothing bright here. Oh, the snow is so beautiful. And I know this is wrong, but I don't live there. And I think it's okay if I say it. But when you northern people either show me pictures or I see them on Instagram in the news, when you have those ice storms and the trees are all sparkly and you have that fresh white snow and everything's all like glittering and everything, it is so beautiful. But I know how dangerous it is and how hard it is on everyone. But sitting in my air-conditioned 84-degree February, January, December Florida home and watching it on the big screen TV, it's magical because 'cause I'm not living it, I'm not driving in it, I'm not worried about basements because we don't have them where I lived. You don't go in the attic, it's just mostly all one story. So it just seems so pretty and magical. Now, we spent 2 winters, a year and a half, we went winter, summer, winter in upstate New York, where the military train at Fort Drum for snow countries because it's so cold and they get so much snow up there that that's where they train. That in Alaska, of course. So it was brutal. There was times where you just didn't drive. Yeah, back in the 80s, I don't, everyone can argue climate change and call it whatever you want, but back in the 80s, the temperatures, they had like seasons in Florida and you would get cold and you could wear like jeans in the summer because it was still only in the 80s. And now it's up in the 90s and in the low hundreds before you get to feel like temperatures. So it has changed a lot, but I've heard some places in California and some places, along the West Coast here, they still have like mild year-round temperatures. So it's just all in where you live. There's always going to be a problem, right? It's just whatever fits you best. The the temperatures in Florida, I feel like my joints are I feel my joints are very arthritic to say here. They're very stiff, they're not very loose, but when I'm in Florida, the warm temperatures keep all of the gunk in my joints fluid, and it's easier to move around. I don't feel so hunched up and curled in on myself. So I just I'm a Florida girl, you know? I'm just a Florida girl. Oh, when you get the slush and the nasty stuff, oh, that is so gross. Yeah, but then you gotta deal with it, right, Sue? It's beautiful when you look out the window, but then when you have to deal with the trees breaking and hitting the power lines and hitting your house, and you're like, "Oh, yeah," and people I'd be like, "We haven't had power for 3 days through the hurricanes," and other people are like, "Yeah, well, we haven't had power for 21 days and it's been snowing." I'm like, "Excuse me? You what? You what?" Hi, Janice. We're just rambling about where we want to live and where we've enjoyed and the difference between like Florida and upstate New York and Arizona. It's the humidity. Yeah. I like it. My kids are all like, we don't like the humidity. And I don't know. I love the humidity. I love the humidity. There's days where I open the front door in Florida and it hits my lungs and I close the door and I know I'm not going out today, but tomorrow it's going to be better. You know, the humidity after a rain doesn't bother me. The humidity before a rain, it's different. And I do struggle with the barometric pressure in Florida where I don't have that problem here because there's like, I don't know the rules and what the real thing is, but I feel like there's no barometric pressure here as compared to Florida. And we are higher elevation, so it does affect our sinuses. And there's different things to be allergic to here because I'm allergic to everything. So it's like, whatever. But I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and chattering for all this time, listening to me blubber. And we got past all of this stuff. If anyone wants to, the humidity, I had my pain management to where I went months with my pain level at 0. I have not been before a level of 4. I've had chronic pain since January of 2011 when I got injured, and I have been I dealt with migraines all the time, but in the past year or so in Florida, when I was in Florida, I had my pain level down to almost nothing for months at a time. There was times where I was able to skip the medication doses. I didn't have migraines until I moved in with my kids, and I'm pretty sure it had a lot to do with stress. But since we've been here, darn it, I've got an ad. I've got ad number 2. Since we've been here, I've been averaging probably at least 3 major migraines a month, and I have a headache in total probably 28 days a month. So it's just been miserable. But again, it is what it is. If Florida just floated away, if California floated away, if Arizona was the only way of life, I would survive. But when given a choice, I'm going to Florida, guys. So I hope you all have a great weekend. Whoever is suffering, I hope there's some type of an easement for you that you can get comfortable. If anyone wants to talk creativity with me, my emails are down below. You can contact me there. I have 2 free patterns through Missouri Star for the month of May, the Snappy Pouch and a table runner. So if you contact me there, I can give you the link and it'll give you the PDF for free. And oh, the red, white, and blue mini rail fence mug rugs are gonna be in the shop either today, tomorrow, or Monday. So if anyone's looking for those, these will be in the shop once I finish them. And I think that's all I have for you for updates. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys later. Bye.